Welcome. Busy time. Great to be here in the middle of, I guess, a very busy race time for us both. Charlie, great to have you here.
Yeah, great to be here. You bet.
This is The Running Journey. I'm Rob. This is my brother, Charlie. We have a busy weekend. We're going to talk about, this episode is going to cover a lot of things, but we're definitely going to cover the CMV Canada Half Marathon, which was the first time I organized a race. I actually interviewed the Premier, Wab Kinew, and that will be released in a separate episode. Want to talk about, Charlie, your training, my training. I ran with Ryan Keeping, the guy who's running across Canada this week. We have a race tonight, you and I, Charlie.
Yeah.
The awesome twosome, Rob's going to embarrass himself relay, 5K relay race, which we're going to talk about. And then you're probably most excited about Sunday, I would imagine.
Well, except, yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm
excited
for the bike portion of it, of a triathlon.
Yeah, Charlie's doing a triathlon. Okay, let's start with that race right now.
What, are you not doing it?
I am doing it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I've not been on my bike since Nice. I think I might have did one bike ride. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I'm like, there's no possible way I can beat you, right? I've kind of resigned that fact because you're going to beat me by like 15 minutes on the bike.
No, I don't know. Last time I thought I would do that, but I didn't. So
yeah, but last time I was biking.
Yeah.
Okay, no, let's save that for later. Let's start with the CMV Canada Half Marathon, which was the first time I put a race together. There is an episode that's going to be released, which is basically an overview of that day, which is a day in the life of. This was your idea, Charlie. I don't know if you recall. You texted me the night before.
Okay.
And you're like, you should do an interview tomorrow. Who are you interviewing tomorrow? And then you put Wab question mark.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so that was the night
now
before.
I remember. Yeah.
I was in Nashville. I flew back from Nashville. I got home at like 1 a.m. I was there for Labby's stag. And I got back at 1 a.m. the morning of my race. And what a crazy, anyways, you're going to have to listen to that episode. That was just a crazy, crazy morning for me and for Marco. But I mean, we got it. I want to ask you what the client experience was like. How was the user experience? You as a runner, you signed up and you weren't a volunteer. You weren't behind the scenes. You were just a runner that day. What did it look and feel like?
I mean, it was fun. Yeah.
Did it look like the guys who were putting it together had no idea what they were doing? A little bit.
I mean, mile 2 was off, mile 4 was off, mile 6 was off.
Okay, forget about the miling. Like I get
that's the only thing. Everything else was good. Yeah.
It's crazy how
the aid stations. I mean, it was it was good enough. Yeah. But it wasn't as high caliber as maybe other places, but yeah.
What do you mean specifically with that? We had like 8 aid stations for a half marathon.
No, you had enough. It's just that like the cup styles, just minor things.
Okay.
Minor
cup styles.
minor things. Yeah, like those the cup style. That's it.
Cup styles,
and then like maybe the people doing it, like it was their first, like maybe most of them were really good.
They had no idea how to hand cups out, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
but I mean, to me, those are like minor things. But
yeah, it definitely doesn't matter unless you're running an 8-minute mile or faster and you're concerned about your time.
Had I been trying to PR, like it would have mattered, but I wasn't.
For sure.
But I think even like most people, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Okay. It was just a 100% last minute, million, trillion, quadrillion trying to put together all these things. It was just such a stressful morning. I got back at 1. I was up at 4. We had to mark the course. Anyways, you'll hear about this in the episode. I
assumed that other people were doing that. I didn't know you were going to actually do that. So
well, I couldn't really trust anyone to do that because nobody really the only person I would have trusted to do that would have been you or my parents.
Okay.
But like you were running, my parents, like I'm not gonna ask them to get up at 4 in the maybe I should have, because it almost ended up like ruining the race, because I got back, it was 6:45. The arch wasn't, Marco and I had to mark the course. We got back, it was 6:45. The city of, anyways, this will be for another episode, but I did want to.
Yeah, whatever. It was, to me, it was a fun run. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I know obviously it's our first year and we want to improve it. Learned a ton of things about organizing a race and what you need to do and what not to do. And it's going to be better, but I mean, we had 71 runners, so I'm happy with that. The course issues were, everyone will say this, but we used the map that they gave us. And I remember when I texted you a few nights before, I'm like, any chance you want to go and mark and pace it out to make sure these mile markers are accurate? And we were both like, I don't think it's necessary. Like, it's going to be accurate. It's Athletics Canada. Why would it not be accurate? And what happened is, for some of the miles, we sent the directions to a volunteer to put up the sign. And obviously they didn't get put at the right spot. But anyways, I couldn't do anything.
One of the things I noticed is 2 was off when I got there, but when I came back, someone had fixed it. It was like back in it was in the right spot after you were running and you moved it, or what?
Yeah, I did move 2. I moved a few other ones because I knew where they were supposed to be. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that race, other than how do you think the guy? We had a ton of people run. Like, a ton of our buddies ran that race. Everyone ran. They did well. Like Wolvesy, how did Wolvesy do in your opinion?
Oh, Wolvesy was, so you asked me how the pacing went. So the pacing went actually really well, but not because of me, but because of the pacey. He was right on top of basically, it was consistent pace the whole time. We were trying to hit a 140, which we would have hit, but we hit 138 instead. So we screwed that up a little bit.
Right. So the course.
Just kidding, because the course was short. This course was a little short, so we hit 138, which would have been right on 140. And Wolves, my pacey, he really hammered out he was struggling at the end, and he went hard and got it done. And he was really sore the next day. So
that means you left it all out there. Did you talk to him about your his heart rate and how hard did you talk to him after the race?
No, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. He was kind of just talking to his girlfriend and stuff.
No, but I mean, did you text him the next day or 2 days after or anything like that?
Yeah, we texted a little bit. I said, hopefully I wasn't too annoying, because when you're like working really hard. So I was trying to talk to kind of keep him occupied, his mind occupied.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hopefully I wasn't too annoying, because he wasn't talking back because he was like really winded. Well, not winded, but he wasn't in the mood to talk by the end, but he said it was good, because that, like, even though he wasn't in the mood to talk, he didn't mind hearing things to kind of keep his mind off of it a little bit. Yeah, so it was good.
It's part of the pacing job. Do you find that? So what I've found with pacing a buddy who's trying to break a PR or whatever, I usually find that they're okay with me talking the first 11 miles, 11 and a half, maybe even 12 miles. But generally the last mile or mile and a half, I get the sense that most of them are just, they want to be quiet with their pain, and they don't want to hear me talk. They don't want to hear another story about an Ironman or another story about how.
Yeah. No, the last mile, you kind of got to, for me, I'm the same way. I want to get into his zone
into his own focus and hammer it out.
Yeah. But I think, so we talked a little bit, it was about mile 8 or 9. And I said, like, if you don't want to talk anymore, just let me know. Like, I know it can be hard or whatever. And he's like, no, you can keep talking. I might not talk, but you can keep talking. And then
it's funny because Wab made a joke because I was telling Wab about our podcast, and Wab is the premier of our province. And for those Americans that are listening, that would be like the highest elected official for your state. It's not quite
be like the governor.
But they have, don't they have 2 governors? No,
each state has a governor.
Sorry. Yeah. But it's not even that, because it'd be more than that. But anyways, it's the highest elected official in our province. And he came and he ran. And I was telling him about the podcast, how Marty describes the podcast. Marty described the podcast. He's like, whether I'm listening to the podcast or I'm running with you guys, it's the same thing. It's just Rob and Charlie talking the whole time about running, and me head down trying to get my miles in. And he was being complimentary. Marty was saying how much he loves listening to the podcast. Shout out to Marty Laflèche, he's in good shape. He did a 151 like no sweat at the half. So I think he was going to do really well at the full. But anyways, and then I told that story to Wab, and then Wab was like, that's how I felt today, because I was talking the whole time and he was just listening. He'd give me one word answers. But I mean, the Premier of Manitoba, I want to say this, 2 jogs. He did an 8-miler, unless could be BSing me. I don't think he is. 2 jogs. He did an 8-miler a week before and a 6-miler 2 weeks before. So pulled a bit of a grains.
Wow,
and
that's amazing. Whoa, that's impressive.
Last year he did a 2:21. Wow. And I didn't remember his time. I thought he did a 2:10. So this year I'm like, what do you want to do for time? He's like, I don't know. Why don't we just kind of do what we did last year? I don't remember. I remember last year was somewhat doable. And I said, okay, I think 2:10. So we'll do like 6 or just over 6-minute Ks, or I think we were doing 10-minute miles, just under 10-minute miles. But what I realized is those aren't easy for someone who hasn't trained.
Yeah, no, totally not.
Like Wab is, he's
that's amazing. That's amazing. Actually, that's crazy. I can't believe you did that. I was
thinking about how impressive that was, and I don't need to blow smoke up his ass. I really don't, and I don't really care to do it. But it is impressive what he did. Like,
yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah,
like
no matter how you look at it.
And I mean, obviously, and I asked him, I was like, you got a million things to do. Why are you here? And he said he wanted to come because he would force him to circle a date on the calendar, and then he's committed to it. Then he's going to have to train for it, which forces him to be in good shape, right? Which is, I think, why a lot of people sign up for marathons, right? Would you argue? They just sign up because they have to get in shape, right? It's a mandatory event. So he said he did it, but then obviously he got busy. It's an incredibly busy season for the Premier. He's got a by-election coming and whatever. But he came out and he ran and he didn't want a crew that he didn't want a million people there. He wanted to do it. He wanted to run with me. I don't know. I thought it was a great.
So interesting story. On my way, I was biking there, and I see this kind of like gangster looking, like, I don't know, like in the movies, like
black SUV,
the black Escalade type vehicle that passed me while I was biking on Saint Vital Road, and I was like, man, that looks like someone important or something. And yeah, obviously it was Wab and his like security or whatever.
Yeah, he had a security detail, so he had one biking guy that was kind of following us a little bit.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, because when I went to the washroom before, he was in just before me, and he had a security guy. I was like, oh, this guy looks serious. Anyways, and then so he had one during the run.
He had 2 in the car that were kind of driving up, parking. He had a social media crew. They were 2, and they took 1 million photos. I didn't see any on his TikTok, but maybe they're going to make it to their TikTok at some point. Took like 1 million photos. And then he had 1 on his bike that was following us. So it was the guy on the bike. A few times I ended up chatting with him because Wab took 2 pees. So I was like, Wab, I got to piss. So I'm just going to pull over here. He's like, me too. And then he stopped and said, no, you know what? I'm going to wait for the washroom. Like he was going to.
Yeah. You have to wait for the washroom if you're the
But like the way he first said it, he was like, I thought he said he was going to just pee with me. But so I said, I'll just catch up. So we had the RV there parked at whatever it was, kilometer 5, I think. So he peed there and he peed there on the way back. But both times that he went and peed, I chatted with his security detail. And I was like, the security guy was really impressed that Wab was doing it. He was kind of like, I don't want to say trying to talk him out of it, but like, I don't know. I guess I can't imagine there are that many sitting premiers that have run half marathons. How many, like, who's the last one, do you think? Like, there's no way Pallister did one. There's no way, like, I think of the past sitting premiers to have actually run a half marathon. 2 reasons. One, it's a lot of work to train for them, and they don't want to go in public probably and run half marathons in public, right? I would argue. Or do you think it's a good thing for their brand?
I don't know.
Anyways, I had a fun day.
Yeah.
I had a fun day with Wab, and the race was a success. And there's another episode just on that, so I'm going to leave that there. You've signed us up, Charlie, for this race that we're doing tonight. Let's talk about that race.
Yeah. It's 5 kilometers long, and it is at,
I think it's at CMU,
and it's a team race. So I think the way it works is we both go in different directions. It's a loop.
Okay.
And we finished the 5K because we're a team. We go different directions, and it's total time. Whoever has the least total time by team wins.
Okay. How's your 5K time these days?
It's not as fast as my race predictor on Garmin thinks I can do it.
I don't know. I got nothing. I worry that I really don't have much. I don't remember the last time I ran an 8-minute mile. Never mind a 7-minute mile, or a 6-minute mile.
I have a feeling you'll surprise yourself a little bit today.
No, so I'll tell you, I'll let you in on a little secret. I wanted to see what I could do on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I had like an hour jog on my calendar. And in the middle of that jog, I said, I'll push a 5K on a treadmill so that it's kind of cheating, but I'll push a 5K and then I'll know that I can do it. And I thought I can for sure do a 19-minute 5K, right? That should be no problem. So I put the treadmill.
19 is not easy, no?
No, but I thought, okay, 19. Anyway, so I put the treadmill at 9.8 and I lasted 10 minutes.
Well, that's pretty good. It's halfway. That 19 is not realistic for you right now.
No, clearly it's not. And then I put it down to 9.4, put it down to 9, and it was finished like a 21 and a half minute 5K. So I don't have it. So I don't know about you, but I certainly don't have it.
No, I mean, I've got I'll be happy with like around 20.
Okay. So I don't know if I have that, but
I think you'll have it.
Okay. Are we trying to win this thing?
Well, we'll do our best. I mean, we'll try our best, I guess. Or do you want to just run it easy?
No, no, we're not doing that. No way.
We're not driving 30 minutes to go for an easy jog. Come on.
We're not doing that. No, I guess you're right. That's a stupid question. The two most competitive human beings on the planet teaming up to run a 5K race. What did you have? What did I have last week? Oh yeah, I had the half.
Oh yeah, you ran. So wait, you ran with that guy running across Canada.
Yeah. I ran with Ryan Keeping. So on Monday, you probably had you're doing 100 miles on your bike every day these days.
No, I do. I only have. Normally, I have, and he dropped me, which.
What does that mean?
He dropped my volume, my biking volume. I guess maybe because I got a race coming up. So I do about. I think I got. I have to pull up my Training Peaks calendar here, but it's like 2 or 3 times a week only biking.
You're definitely biking a lot more than me. So pause before I talk about Ryan Keeping. I want to ask you about this again. I asked you this last episode. I want to ask you this again. Why are you biking so much?
Oh, I want to be fast on the bike. Why?
I have a theory. What
do you mean? I don't understand. It's part of my training plan. I'm just doing what my coach tells me to do.
I think you want to win the Birds Hill Provincial Iron Triathlon.
No, I have zero chance of that.
No, the age group.
Age group?
The one that I won last year.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I just want to do the best possible time.
So Charlie, last year I finished second overall.
No, I didn't.
Or third?
Oh, maybe.
I did. 100%. I finished second or third. I was on the podium.
Okay. Yeah.
100%, Charlie. And I was like 8 minutes behind Labby, something like that.
You're pulling it up around there.
So why are you saying it's impossible for you?
I haven't even thought about it. I'm just training to do the best I can do. Look at this.
Hey, don't get upset. Don't get upset at me. Don't get upset.
I honestly haven't even thought about where I'm going to finish. I'm just want to do a good.
I think you'll do well. Is it okay for me to say that? Are you going to get upset at me for saying that? Yeah. I think you're going to do well.
I can barely swim. I can barely swim, so that's a problem. But
okay, I think you're going to do well.
You finished third. You finished third in men's, fourth overall. Not bad.
That's what I said. Third, second or third, I said.
Yeah.
And what was I, like 8 minutes behind Labby, right? Or is it more than that? 14 minutes? 9. Okay.
8:50.
8 minutes. That's 8. We always round down.
Yeah, round down. Yeah.
14 hours and 48 minutes to do an Ironman. 14 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it for you? 11:59?
So I did an 11 hour.
11 and something. Every time I've ever talked to someone about their Ironman time, they always say like 12 something. Like it's not.
Yeah.
So you can forever say 11 something. So Ryan Keeping, yes, this guy ran across Canada. So I have a new rule, and I wrote it on Strava. Every time someone's running across Canada, new rule. I just established it this week. I'm going to go and run with them.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Rule.
It's fun.
It was good.
It was so good. So that morning, the night before, so we connected a little bit when he was running across New Brunswick because I just missed him. But when I say we connected, Tyson, who runs my social media, connected with Jesse or Jordan, who runs his social media, and they were messaging as though they were us. And then I said, hey, it'd be great. Or Tyson said, it'd be great to run with you when you're in Manitoba. He said, yeah, I'll let you know, blah, blah, blah. I messaged him the night before. I was like, I'm not going to go run out in Richard. That makes no sense. I got to tell you this story. I'm not going to go drive an hour and Thursday, which is yesterday, I was in Toronto all day. So I wouldn't have time to run with him the day he was in Winnipeg. This guy is doing 75 kilometers per day. I'm going to talk to you about this guy. 75 kilometers every day. He does it in 3 blocks of 25K. It's impressive, obviously.
Wow.
It's so impressive.
That's a lot of Ks. And
I was like, I'm not going to go run with this guy. Like, I got a million things to do. I went that morning. I had a swim. It was my second swim. And I don't know you're probably like this too. When you do a swim or a bike or whatever, and there's no real goal and it's not like a treadmill. So let's say you're out and you're kind of controlling your time, but you have some sort of target. You're supposed to do like 8-minute kilometers, or maybe there's 8-minute miles. Maybe there's a window, but something happens halfway through or 3/4 of the way through where you're trying to set a goal. Maybe does this happen to you? It only really happens.
Yeah, it happened. Like where you just all of a sudden have
this matters. 50 minutes matters, or 12 kilometers matters in this time, or like an arbitrary number that doesn't mean anything to anybody, right?
Yeah.
So I about 10 minutes into my swim, I was below. What is it?
Oh man, you had a good swim. You had a
2 minutes per 100. How does it work? 30 seconds per lap.
2 minutes. 2 minutes per 100 meters.
2 minutes per 100 meters.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds a lap.
Yeah, so I was slightly below. 10 minutes in, I was slightly below. And
I knew that was a really good swim. You did 3,000 meters under an hour. That's crazy.
I did, yeah. I was pumped. But I mean, I worked very hard because that's my story is like 10 minutes in, I think I want to set that as a goal. It's just an arbitrary goal that makes no sense. So then I pushed hard. I got to like 15 seconds of cushion, maybe 20 seconds of cushion. Yeah. And then I started losing it with like 30, 40 laps left. I started losing my cushion and I felt like I was going harder and harder and I was losing the.
Yeah, that's the thing with swimming. Sometimes at the end, like it feels like you're going hard. It feels like you're going way harder, but yet you're actually going slower. Like I don't get that feeling with running as much.
It's totally different. It's totally different than running and biking, where I was like in jogging, I would argue you more effort, more speed, and you don't really feel that way at the end of a 1 hour jog, right?
At the end of I think we're just more trained in running is probably, but yeah, so I always feel like I'm working way harder and yet I'm going slower at the end of swims.
I lost all my cushion with 20 laps left. So I had 10 there and backs left and I was below pace. And I said like, okay, you know what? It's not a big deal. Whether it's an hour and 30 seconds, it's okay, Rob. You got up, you came here, you swam, you did good. Forget about this stupid goal because it was starting to get hard. And then I swam, like I did 5 strokes and I just hated myself for saying that. I was like, you're such a loser. You are such a loser. You're going to give up on that goal just like that? This goal is important. It means
life or death.
Life or death. So I bared down and I hustled as hard as I could to just beat it by like a few seconds. And I felt so good. Sorry, go ahead.
That's very similar to my.
You do the same thing. I guarantee.
I had a 2 by just a short interval workout. Right? It was a 2 by 1K run, and I wanted to do the second one at 3:40. Or sorry, 3:30. And kilometer. I was and I was like
a whole kilometer?
Yeah. And I was like, it was getting really hard. And then I kind of just said, okay, no, sorry, 340. I wanted to do my first one. I did at 350. And then I wanted to do or just under 350, like 347. And then my second one, I was like, hey, I gotta do under 340. And I kind of gave up for a couple seconds and I was like, it's almost done. Just like keep going, as the pain though is pretty painful.
340 is a 553 mile.
Yeah, but fast. I mean, it's shorter. It's just for 1K. So
it's still impressive.
I feel like when I was in shape before Boston, that would have been like no problem.
Agreed. But I'm telling you, it's still good. And I would love to. I don't think I could run a 350 kilometer today, a 340. I don't think I can, but I don't know. We'll find out tonight, I guess.
Yeah, you can for sure.
Okay, fine.
We can run one.
I can run one. So after I finished my swim and I like touched the wall and stopped the clock and like, you know how you feel so good after you do a day of swim? I got up out of the pool. I checked my phone on Instagram. He had replied. He told me, I'll be in Prada and I'm running to here for today. Join me if you want. And I was like, freaking right. I'm going to go join this guy. So I just got in my car and I went straight
from the swimming pool.
Almost. No, I went home. I ate.
Where are you swimming these days, by the way?
Same place as you. The only place we can swim, right? Yeah.
Well, there's other ones, I guess. I don't know.
Pan Am,
but it's only open I can't go in the morning, so that's.
I like the experience at the Elmwood Kildonan pool.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. They're friendly.
It's good.
The first time I went, I had no lane partners. The second time I went, I had one for the first bit, and then I had none, and then felt good. And then the quick funny story: the guy, kind of caught me at my turn. He was just kind of getting in, and he looked like he wanted to talk to me, but I was like really focused on this time, and I had like 7
you
laps
were on
left.
Your interval. You got to get your time.
I gotta go. So when I came back, he was like waiting for me, and he wanted to talk to me. I don't know what he wanted.
Do you want to share?
I think he wanted to say, "Do you want to share a lane?" And I was like, "We don't have time to talk right now, okay? Like I'm trying to break this arbitrary goal." So I said, "Yeah, whatever you want," and I just kept going. And like, maybe I offended him. I don't know. But I was like, "Dude, swim. I don't care, dude." Like, but he was trying to be polite, right? He was trying to be. I could have just said, "Yeah, no problem. Share the lane. No worries." That would have taken 2 seconds, but I didn't want to waste 2 seconds. Anyways, I get in my car and I'm like, I'm just gonna go run with this guy. So I'm a little. I had no idea what my game plan was. I brought 1 bottle of water and I brought 1 gel. I was like, nice. I'll go run for 2 hours, 2-3 hours or whatever. But it ended up being pretty hot. This was this week. So we started in just outside of like basically between Prada and Richer, I guess, like on the highway. I turned around, I saw him. I went up to him. I said, "Can I run with you?" He's like, "Sure, I'd love to." And we started running. And then he did 20. So he does 3 25Ks per day. I did his entire, and he does them at 6 a.m., 11 and 4 with a 1 hour break in between, give or take. Some days he takes longer, shorter, but that's roughly his plan. So he usually does it in like 3 hours and 40 minutes or 3 hours and 50 minutes. So he's doing 8-minute kilometers. And 8-minute kilometers, like when he started, I had a hard time because I was like, I don't know. It's
we're just not used to it, obviously.
Not used to it for sure. But it goes back to one of the podcasts you and I talked about, like people who say they can't run that slow. You remember we talked about this?
Yeah. It's you're not used to it. Yeah, exactly.
I just slowed down. And all of a sudden I'm jogging at 8 minutes per kilometer, which is 13-minute miles. I jogged at 13-minute miles. Well, what happened is I asked him about my car. I said, "What should I do with my car?" He's like, "I don't know, man. Maybe park it here somewhere." And I said, "Okay." And I was kind of hoping he'd offer like one of his crew or whatever to like bring a car or bring me back to my car at the end. But I was in the middle of nowhere with my car. So then I went and I talked to his crew at the first break at like 1 hour or whatever. I said, "Hey, any chance you guys are coming back by here after, or is that maybe possible?" And he said, "No, we got a pretty busy day." "Okay, yeah, cool. No worries." So I had to bring my car with me, right? So I would jog back, get my car, drive it ahead, jog back to him, jog to our car, jog past our car, then jog by myself back to the car, drive it ahead. So I did that 4 times. So I would do like 8-minute Ks with him, but then I would do like 8-minute miles without him, right? So I ended up averaging out a half decent pace, but a very, very easy day. Like I ended up doing 30, I think I did 20 some miles 20. I think I did 20 miles, and while he did 25K, the exact same pace. But he was very, very fun to jog with. Great guy, different than Jax. Definitely different than Jax. Jax is more like it's all about Terry and Terry's legacy and honoring Terry's legacy. Ryan like wants to be a positive influencer on. He wants to influence people and he wants to make a living doing this. Like he's open about it. He thinks he thinks he's good at this, and I think he is. He's very, very good at it, and he wants to influence people, and he wants to get 1 million followers and then just monetize it and be good at it. And he loves running and he's good at it. So he told me a story when we just talked the whole time. It was great. But first weekend, he realized that he liked running. He used to be a bodybuilder, and he would never do cardio. He was like our sister, Tanya, anti-cardio, right?
Well, not really, but yeah, okay.
But like Tanya was not as anti as others, but a lot of them are anti-cardio, right?
Yeah, but not our sister.
No, I'm chirping. You worried she'll be offended? He won't be offended. She's jogging. She's going to qualify for Boston. So I run with this guy. He's telling me about anti-cardio, and then he's like, maybe he told me he was like working on the sheet metal, and he's like, I'm going to kill myself here. Like, I hate my days. I hate my life. It's got to be. And he told me the story when he played hockey. He was like, he would always make like kind of the AA or AAA teams, but like no talent, just because he worked harder than everyone else, and he was attitude guy, and kind of like me. I was just working hard, and he said, I need to find a sport where just wanting it more than everyone else. You can win. That's
why I like it too. Yeah.
And when he said that, he's like, he started like thinking about it and Googling it. And he's like, running. That's what I'm going to do. And that's how he started running. Not because he loved running.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he loves it.
That's honestly, that's why one of the reasons I always loved, like from the start, is that I could just try harder than anyone else.
And it's 100%. He kept telling me, I control this output. I control this outcome. No one else. I don't have to worry about my wingers not passing me the puck. And it's 100% on me. And if I try harder than anyone else, I can do it. And just a cool way to look at it.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
And then he did a 20K. Then he was in shape. Obviously, he was a bodybuilder. Then he told me he did his first marathon. Then he did a 50K the following weekend, 60K 2 weekends after, 80K 2 weekends after, and did 100K like a month after. Within the first like 2-3 months, he had ramped it up, and he was like, okay, I can do this. I'm good at this. This is what I want to do. And then he did a whole bunch of ultras, and I asked him about his training regimen. He would do 200 to, well, I don't know. I guess you could look on Strava. He said, I think he was doing 2 to 250 a week in kind of training for this. He decided he would do this about a year ago. He decided, and he's just doing it. And the way he talks, it's very much how you talk and how I talk about like, well, I don't have a choice. I committed to this. It's going to happen. Like I just have to figure out like the way he talks about the race, it's that it's already done. Like it's in his mind, he's going to do it. There's zero doubt. Like he's going to do it. So whether he breaks a leg or rips he's still going to do it. So he's very strong. He's got a very strong mind. Anyways, he's a fun guy to hang out with. Although I don't think he's got a ton of like support when it comes to like nutrition and coaching, and he's kind of winging it on his own, which is probably more impressive.
Yeah.
I wanted to text you that night before. I wanted to ask you, would you come with me run with this guy? But it was like the night before, and I was like,
yeah, no, I would not have been able to.
So I ended up spending 4 hours with him. We got supported by, I don't know how many other guys came and jogged, but it was I think 4 or 5 other runners joined. And then I got in my car. Actually, I jogged back to my car, and he just kept going. And he's doing 3 chunks of 25 kilometers. Do you think I asked Joel this today. Do you think it's Jackson and him? Do you think it's the only way to do it across Canada is kind of walk? Because what I was doing when he at the end there, when he was the last hour or two with him, I would just walk with him at his pace. So I would do fast walking, but I was walking. Do you think it's the only way to do it is walking? Like, do you think I could do run with Rob's style, 2 half marathons with people who are doing like 2:10s or whatever, and do it that way? Or do you think that my body would break down?
No, you can do it.
You could jog.
Yeah. Why
Because
not?
I don't think anyone's ever jogged.
Well, Terry Fox.
He didn't finish it, right?
Yeah, but he had cancer and he had one leg, and he was like, do you see how Terry Fox, like, imagine how much in shape he's running one leg at a decent pace, like every day. Like,
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I named my kid after him. Like, I think he's the most inspiring human being on this planet.
Yeah, forget about inspiring. I just think he's an amazing runner. Like, but that too, like, he's inspiring too. But like, yeah,
because I only know these 2 guys. It's the only 2 guys that I know, Jax and Ryan. And
I think it's possible to run. I think it's easier to run 75K than to walk run 75K. Maybe depending on for a person like you, it'd probably be easier to actually just run it.
But 75K, that's a lot of miles. Like, that's a lot of kilometers every day.
Yeah. I mean, or you could less a day. You could do less a day.
Yeah, I think when I do it, I've pretty much decided. I think I'm going to do either 42 or 50. I'm probably going to do 42 a day and just take 170 days, and that's that. And Ryan said, and I don't know if I'm breaking news here, he's trying the speed record either next year or in 2026. He said he's going to try the speed record, which is 66 days, I think, or 69 days. So that's 100 some kilometers per day.
Yeah.
Crazy. So he wants, that's like his goal. That's his next goal. He wants to break the speed record, the cross country speed record.
I know I couldn't do it.
No, if you would do it,
I couldn't do the running every day.
Would you do, if you were doing it, how would you do it?
I don't think I would try it. I just don't. I think for me, I mean, unless I'm completely injury free, which I haven't been, I always have that little bit of thing in my foot. So,
but if you were to do it, how would you do it? Would you walk it, or would you do it at 8? Kind of that 8, or would you do kind of?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I think, I don't know. I don't have any experience going through something like that, so I don't think my opinion means very much.
I think it always means something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would mix in some walking probably. I think that would probably be good.
One more thing I want to ask you: if you text someone and you ask them, "What pace are you running?"
Yeah,
and they go 8.
Yeah,
and you don't know this person. What do you think? What would you think?
Well, I would have to know.
No, just you don't know.
So, but why would a random person that I don't know text me? I think I'd have to know a little bit about this person.
Okay, I texted Ryan this.
Okay.
What pace are you running tomorrow? I had no idea about it. So
someone that's doing 75 kilometers a day, I think that could go either way.
Which way?
Probably more likely 8 minutes per kilometer, I would say.
I think there's 4 possibilities. There's 8-minute miles, there's 8 miles an hour, there's 8-minute kilometers, and there's 8 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, no one ever talks in kilometers an hour or miles per hour unless it's a treadmill. Okay. So I would eliminate
those two are out. Okay.
And then I would say, because he's doing 75 kilometers a day, if I knew that, then I'd say he's definitely not doing that at 8 minutes a mile.
Right.
So it's got to be 8 minutes a kilometer.
Okay. So I was caught up between, I said, okay, it's not miles. So I was like, it's probably 8 minutes per kilometer. But I thought he's running a lot of kilometers in hours. So I thought maybe he's like 8 kilometers an hour, which is almost the same. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess it could be 8 kilometers an hour. But yeah, I don't think anybody would. I'd be surprised if that's what it was, right?
Did you know much about this 1,000 mile club? What do you know about it?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, I don't know either, but I just know that there's a lot of Winnipeggers that are getting to like 1,000 miles, and they're celebrating this, and they're trying to, like, I know Joy and what's is it Joy? Is it Palmer? Her last name, I think. On
Well,
Strava.
I've got 1,000 miles of running, and I've got 1,000 miles biking. What is that? I got
Yeah,
both.
you're killing it. And I know Jen Sacco. She was at the CMB Canada Half Marathon, and she texted me. She said, "You're at 1,000 miles." I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I didn't know.
I did the same thing.
Okay, but I thought there was
someone let me know. Oh, you're at 1,000. I was like, oh yeah, now I know.
I only got there because I did 500K in 2 weeks. Otherwise, I would have never got there. But not never, but it would have been a lot.
I did a lot of miles leading up to Boston, so that's where
yeah,
I feel like I'm barely running now. So, but 30 miles
because you're running 3 days a week, right?
4, I think.
4. So you're doing 40, 50,
like 30 some miles a week. Yeah,
okay.
50K a week.
So what does your by the way, shout out to all those 1,000-mile runners. I'm
1,000 miles is unreal.
Yeah, it's a ton of miles, and I would have never thought in my life before where I'm at now. I never thought in my life I would ever get to a year, where I would do 1,000 miles. So
on that note, like this is my 4th kind of year since I restarted running, and I've been just under 2,000 every year.
What are your
numbers?
This
year? Like 1,900, 1,800, 1,700, okay. Something like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but under 2,000 every year. And this year I'm on pace for over 2,000, but I know I won't get there because of this Ironman training. So it's, I mean, I guess who cares getting 2,000?
You already hit your 1,000 though, right? When did you?
Yeah, I know, but I hit my 1,000 in May, but that's because I was heavily training for Boston.
Right. So you got to get like 100.
So I don't think I'll get there is what I'm saying. And I've been so close so many years, but whatever, we'll see.
Maybe we can create more reasons for you to run. Yeah.
No, I like running. Yeah. So
another thing I did on I decided not to do the Rob and Charlie brother pacing challenge yet because I want to get a little bit better at it. I want to practice. So
did you do it?
I haven't done it yet because I know you're going to kill me and I want to be a little bit better. So I'm practicing.
Okay.
Which I'm
how are you practicing?
So like when
you
I would
don't check your watch, you don't check your watch for a while. And
well, what I did, this is how I practiced. I did every time I would jog back to my car.
Yeah.
With Ryan, I'd go, okay, this will be an 8-minute mile. And I would just see if I could do it. It would beep. I would look 8:07.
How close?
I was pretty close on my 8.
I told you you'd be surprised at how close you could get.
And today what I did, because we have another thing we need to talk about. Sorry, we haven't even gotten to all the stuff we got to talk about. You're probably upset at me for wasting
podcast. No, it's awesome.
The pacing of the Manitoba Marathon. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
This is an important thing that my whole life when I was a kid, I ran 2 marathons when I was a kid, but I would see these pacers and I'd go, wow, like, could you imagine being good enough at running that you could pace an entire group? Like what kind of credentials these guys must have. Did you think like this too?
Oh yeah, a little bit. No, maybe not. Yeah,
but you put them a little bit on a pedestal.
Yeah. They're on a pedestal. They're on a pedestal. Now that I know I'm one, it's not as much.
The pedestal is out the window because you're like, if they let me do it, this guy who could barely get to 2,000 miles. No, you can't even get to 2,000 miles.
I have never even run 2,000 miles.
Never even run 2,000 miles in a year, and here they are putting you as a pacer. What are you pacing? You're pacing 350.
350, yeah.
Okay, so 350 it turns out to be what, an
846 per mile.
846 per mile, and 846 per mile, otherwise known as 527 per kilometer. I have to do 345, which is 835 per mile, or 520 per kilometer. How you told me a few times that you were a little nervous and anxious that you'd have a hard time pacing it. Did your experience with wolves help?
Yeah. So I don't know what it was, but that felt like, I don't want to say it felt like super easy, but it felt kind of easy in
And you
terms
did
of
what? You did a 138?
in
140?
terms of the effort level that I had to put out to get there. So one of the things I was worried about this 846 is that it was going to be like a little bit like harder than I wanted to work for a
An
for a
easy
long
jog?
run. Yeah. So having done that half, and I felt like because I hadn't run I had last time I ran under 8 minutes a mile, like I don't even remember, like it's
You
been
were in
so long.
diapers.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been since Boston pretty much, right? Except for a
Same.
couple intervals. So when I did run the half and I felt like I was barely tired at the end,
Yeah, you were
that
talked the whole way through. You helped them out.
yeah. So that made me a little bit more confident in my ability to do it physically. But I still have some things I'm nervous about, like hitting the exact paces, things like that will be tough, holding that card. But we'll figure it out.
I am not worried about. I was never. In fact, I laughed it off when you mentioned it. I was like, "Come on,
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me!" Like as if you can't run it. I was 1,000,000% sure you could run a 350 in your sleep.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just that
I was.
when you're training always at like 9 minutes a mile, and then you have to like know that you're going to do a full marathon at a little bit faster than that. And yeah, it's just, you don't remember how hard or easy it is, I guess.
Yeah, the part I thought you would be concerned about was keeping the pace and focusing and making sure that it's spot on, and like that is to me a little bit more nerve wracking,
Yeah.
arguably. But I didn't think you'd be nervous about the other part. I didn't like it's a little bit of a stress to make sure every mile you're because you got to be looking at your
Yeah,
watch.
that I'm a little stressed because like, so if the mile, so my whole plan at the CMV was to like look at the mile markers and base it off of that. And then the mile markers were off. So I was like, oh, I can't base. So I was just basing it on my watch the whole time then. And that's not so bad, but yeah.
Maybe we
And
could
then
mention.
the other part is my pacey was getting upset when I was going a little bit faster down hills or downwind. I was like, hey, we're going to be going, or sorry, we were going a little slower upwind,
Yeah.
because I was like, we're going to be coming back with the wind here. We got to save a little bit.
Yeah, you're trying to keep the effort the same, which is one of the questions I was going to ask you. Are you going to try to keep your effort the same at Manitoba, or are you going to
Well,
try to
so
keep your pace the same?
I think I'm going to try to keep the effort the same if that is an acceptable policy, because I think if your goal is to get as many people to achieve that goal as possible, that is a better way to do it than trying to keep your pace the same. Because um and then the second part is, do I want to do a slight negative, which it probably shouldn't, just
No,
because
no.
it's going to be confusing, but that actually goes against that lowers the chances of them hitting their goal, not trying to do a
I
negative.
agree, but I don't think it's your call to make in this situation. But
Yeah. No, I know, but
what you could do, I mean, before the race, you'll be standing there with your sign,
yeah.
and there'll be people around you. There'll be one,
Yeah.
two, three, four, five, six, eight, 10. I don't know. There'll be a group around you. I would like my plan is just to talk to everyone
Yeah.
and to ask them what their expectations are,
Yeah.
and what I'll tell them. What I was going to tell them was I was going to do an effort based, but I don't
Yeah. I
do it
think
as much.
effort based. You have to do effort based.
A few seconds, like what do we have in Manitoba? The world's flattest marathon of all time.
Well,
Is
it's
just
just if it's windy, right? If it's
windy.
windy, it could be that you're completely against the wind for the first half, and then
Yeah.
with on the second half, or the opposite.
But really, there's like the overpass, the Bishop Grant
Yeah.
overpass.
The overpass is like, so you can slow down for 30 seconds and then you'll gain it on coming back down, right?
Yeah, but it's not even 110. So like, I wonder what the Pacers at the Boston Marathon do.
Oh, there's no Pacers at Boston Marathon.
Okay, or I don't know, another.
But New York, do you remember New York though?
I don't remember what they were doing. Do you?
They were not adjusting as much as I would have, in my opinion.
Okay.
According to the hills, because I was remember we talked about this? I was getting passed on the downhills, and I was passing everyone on the downhills, but
That's going to be something we're going to have to be aware of when we pace, because you and I are bigger bodies. Yeah. And we tend to go faster on downhills. Plus we know we've done this enough times that we know to kind of let our pace go a little faster on the downhills, right?
Yeah.
And then uphills, we're going to be trailing because they're going to be ahead of us. So something to be aware of in our jobs and duties. I can't tell you how many times I've been thinking about this. Like, it's for sure the race I've thought about the most over the last while, because it's like, I don't want to screw this up.
I guess we're like a week away now, eh?
So it's 1 week away. Is it Sunday?
A bit more than a week, but yeah. Oh, wow.
A week and 2 days away. I have to, like, I'm stressed out about my watch face. I want to make sure I have all the face. Like, what are you going to put on your watch face? You're going to put total pace, mile pace?
I'm not going to put that. Well, sorry.
What are you going to put?
I'm going to put total time. I'm going to put lap pace. Lap pace and total time is what I'm thinking. So, because then with the total time, I can tell before I can plan it out. So this is from my experience on Sunday. What I realized is, if you really want to plan it out exactly, you can calculate as you go exactly where you should be for each mile. And then as you're coming up, you can tell, okay, I'm seeing the mile. It's like that far. I should be at mile 2. I should be at 17:30, whatever. And I can kind of see it without having, and then I hit the lap when I get there, but it gives me a bit of an advance warning of where I should be. So total time, lap pace, and heart rate, whatever. I don't need heart rate.
You're not going to care about overall pace because it might not be accurate. That's what you're saying. Let's say
I'm not going to care about overall pace, no, because.
But if the course was, if you knew for a fact it was exactly matching, you would want to know your overall pace.
Yeah, but you always run extra. So like,
no, but if you knew that it was exactly,
if I knew that I would run the exact tangent of the exact course, yeah, I would. But yeah. I know that won't happen.
Yeah, so, which is why you're taking it off your watch, because it's data you don't need.
It's data that could
it's not accurate.
That could like throw me off.
Not helping you.
Yeah. So I'm going to do total
time. You're going to do the math in your head. You're going to know. You're just going to do 8:30, 8:47,
8:46. So yeah. So every 2 miles is basically 17 and a half minutes, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do 8:45 to be slightly under, so no one misses it, but so 7:30 every 2 miles. And then as soon as I could kind of see it and see, okay, I'm kind of right on, or I'm a bit behind. And then at lap pace, and then I guess I can afford a third one, which I'm not 100% sure what I would do for the third one, because if I don't care about heart rate, then
yeah, well, you have multiple faces on your watch, right? Or no?
Yeah. There's infinite amount of things you can put. Yeah.
What about what happens if you get to, like, which happens almost every single race I've ever done in my life, where like there's a mile that's 100 or 200 yards off or whatever, and you're not sure if it's just that mile or if they're all going to be off now, or how are you going to play that?
I'll assume that at the end they're gonna be accurate. Maybe
I can text you,
but that's why I've got the lap pace on there, right?
Yeah,
that's why I've got the lap pace, so I can. That's a backup, basically.
But like last year, we talked about this.
But I'm assuming Manitoba Marathon is going to be pretty accurate. They've been running this for a long time.
No, remember, like, I don't know if you remember, but this happened last year. I listened to the episode recently where we talked about it. They were all accurate, and then one of them was like 1.2, and then they were all accurate.
That was the 10K though.
No, in the half that I did with Michelle, I did the half.
Oh, I see the half. Yeah.
The half.
Yeah, so that one I'll just disregard, right? Like if it's off, I'll just disregard and I look at my.
But then you got to make up that time.
Well, yeah, I'll look at my lap pace I won't hit the lap button.
Right. Yeah.
I'll just skip my lap, and then I'll know that the next one I have to be like 2 miles worth.
Yeah. Okay, that works. It's exciting. It's good as long as the last mile is accurate, right? It's all you want.
Yeah.
If the last mile is inaccurate, then you're kind of screwed, because that's where you could lose it. That's exciting. Then Sunday. Okay, so that's Manitoba Marathon. We're probably going to chat more about that. Sunday, we have a race. Have you expressed your interest for the World Championships?
No, I haven't.
Are you going to?
I don't know if it's just
the World Championships. are in Australia, 2026.
Oh,
2025, sorry.
seems, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's $20. Who cares? I don't know I don't know if that's pretty far, Australia. So yeah.
It's like I'm going to Malaga this year.
Yeah.
Because it's my travel there. There's no like one hops. It's 2 hops to get there. So it's 22 hours travel or something like that. 21 hours travel.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Like, I mean, I guess there's no hurt. It's $20 if ever I decide not to go. And if ever I win, like, I don't know.
Do you think there'll be, so last year,
but I should be in the 45 category. So I don't know if they're last time I'm not sure if they did that right.
How does that work? Is it the birth
I'm not
year?
sure how that works. I thought it was that your age on the date of their event, which would put me at 45.
Well, when's the event? It's today. No, you're only.
Well, I'm going to turn 45 in 1 month.
Right, but which event? The Worlds or this?
Yeah, one? Of the Worlds. I thought that's how it worked, or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know.
But yeah, because it'd be great if we weren't in the same age category, so we could both win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, next year at the Worlds, you can't be competing in a 44 age category.
Yeah, because you'll be super old by then.
You'll be way old by then. You'll be 46.
Pretty much.
By the Worlds. Yeah, because they're in September.
Yeah.
So you'll be 46. You can't be competing in a 44 age category by the time you're 46.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a goal for yourself? I know you said you haven't even thought about it. I just want to ask because we always do.
I have a goal. Yeah, so that's 2 different things. Like,
okay,
have I thought about how fast I can go? I don't want to say. So sorry, the swim I suck at.
This is a podcast. This is our podcast.
Yeah, okay. So I'll put it out there for when I don't hit it, completely miss it. So
do you have the results from last year somewhere?
Yeah, I have them open right now. Okay. So if you go,
you have my times too.
Yeah,
I'll find it.
I have it all. So last year I swam a 31:26. So my stretch goal is to do a 30. For the swim.
What did you do last year? You said
31:26.
But remember, there was they didn't start they didn't stop your swim till like you were way into transition, if I recall.
Yeah. I don't know, but no, I'm not sure. Anyways, but I remember last year it was a bit of a struggle for me, so I'm hoping this year goes a little bit better and I can do I'll be a bit more ready. So I'm hoping under 30. T1 plus T2 combined, I want to do 4 minutes.
Okay.
Bike, I want to do 104. So, or really, I just want to improve upon last year, but 104 was kind of my target. So what happened with the bike is I kind of figured out a more aerodynamic position on my bike, and I've gotten like basically almost like 2 kilometers an hour faster with the same effort.
How? What's the secret? Tell me the secret.
Well, I'm just more aerodynamic. So I'm just like the angle, like I used to be like this, where I'm like a sail into the wind, and now I'm like a little bit more flat. And
did you change your seat or no?
I changed my seat by this much, but it's more just about how. Yeah.
And then you're leaning down more?
It's just more about like how, and I'm tucking in my shoulders a little bit. So I feel like I've gained almost 2 kilometers an hour on that. Wow. So that's why I'm hoping 104.
So last year you did 106.50.
Yeah.
You're hoping 104. Okay.
And then run, 42.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm probably going to come in a comparable time to my bike my swim and my bike. I think I'll be comparable. No, what did I do last? I did 109 for the bike. So what does that give you if you add those up?
So that would give me 220 on the nose. So 4 for transition. 30, 106, and 42.
So 220. Okay.
Sorry, 104 and 22 and 42. Which is really, that's a stretch goal. Like it's a big improvement over everything there, but whatever. We'll try it.
That's a 10-minute improvement. I think.
But last year I couldn't run. Last year I could barely run.
So yeah, you did a 46 or something, right?
46, yeah.
I think if I can match what I did last year, I would be very, very happy, I think.
Yeah, I think you would be very happy if you matched last year, considering your training. Like, okay, so to be honest, yeah, I think that'd be really good. So I think you'd be pleasantly surprised if you did what you did last year.
Yeah, and I don't think
you almost didn't train bike.
2 swims in the last year, and
your swim looks good. Like, I don't think you're going to lose much on the swim, like based on what I've seen. I think run, you could probably come close. I just think your bike, you might lose a bit of time on your bike.
Probably 5 minutes, I was thinking.
No, not 5 minutes. You won't lose 5. You'll lose like 2 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
27:43 it says I did last year in the swim. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was a slightly short swim is what I'm saying.
I agree. Yeah.
Because I did really bad and it gave me 31:26 and I was really, really bad.
27:43. And are we going together tonight and Sunday? Can I hop in with you on Sunday? Can I put my bike on your thing?
Yeah. I want to get there a bit early. I need a swim warm up this time.
I know you want to get there at 4 a.m, probably, right?
No, I need to get in there and swim for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll pick me up. We'll go to that tonight. We're probably going together too, or what? Is your family going?
No, just me. Or how are you getting there?
I'll drive. I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up today. You pick me up Sunday.
Okay. What time are you gonna pick me up? 6:15, whatever.
Yeah,
it's a pretty long drive. So
yeah, huge drive. It is actually a long drive.
It's like half an hour.
Yeah. Well, CMU, it's 22 minutes, 24 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways,
6:15 sounds good.
What is your goal for warm up tonight? Not goal. What are we gonna do for warm up?
Oh, I haven't really thought about it. I was thinking just like
we have to do sprint.
2 minutes easy, and then like go hard for like 3 minutes. Not even go hard for like 2 minutes.
This would be another great episode. Just how to warm up for a 5K, how to warm up for a 10K, how to warm up.
Yeah. So normally I would warm up a lot more, but I'm
don't have time.
5K. Yeah. I'm just, it's going to be warm already. And so I would say really what I would do today, like normally I would do like a full 10-minute warm up and then some strides and then like 10 minutes at race pace or 5 minutes at race pace and then a 5-minute cool down, like a whole 20-minute warm up. But this time I think it'll just be like 5 minutes easy, couple strides, and like 2 minutes at race pace. And then
if we really wanted to do well here, we would probably do like a half-hour warm up, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. Yeah, like Patrick, the last time I had a 5K, he gave me like a 20-minute warm up.
Yeah, it's got to be like I don't hit my top speed normally when I'm jogging. I don't get over that hump of the heart rate till at least 25, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta, your body, I don't know how to say this, but your mind's got to let your body know that it's going to work hard before it starts, kind of thing. I don't know.
Exactly.
For a 5K anyways. Yeah.
I have never in my life run a 5K.
You've never actually raced a real 5K yet, eh?
I don't think I've ever run a 5K. Like I've run them on the treadmill.
Yeah. Oh, this will be fun then. This will be your first. You're gonna crush it. I feel like you're gonna because you're gonna be your 5Ks on the treadmill is gonna be. You're gonna be excited. Like it's gonna be a little bit exciting for you. It'll be fun.
So okay. I hope you're right and I'm not gonna be upset if I embarrass.
Yeah, even if you don't. Like, I mean, yeah, me too. Like I'm just hoping for like 20 minutes somewhere around there.
I'd be pumped if I broke 20. Like I'd be pumped. Garmin thinks I'm at 21:30 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Garmin thinks I'm 18, which is not going to happen.
Why does it like you more than it likes me?
Hey, but so we're the race predictor. It does the opposite of, so after Boston, when I kind of got out of shape, it like dropped my marathon prediction by like 20 minutes. But it didn't touch my 5K or my 10K or my half. So I feel like it's wrong. Like it should be the opposite. It should, like I feel like my marathon, I've only slowed down like 5-10 minutes maybe, because I feel like I don't have to run that hard. Like I just have to run long, right? But the 5K and the 10K, I feel like I slowed down way more. So I don't know.
Do you have the bibs?
Yeah, I have the bibs. Yeah.
You're always in charge of the bibs. It's kind of cool that I never have to worry about the bibs. I didn't even. I was just gonna show up. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure
there is a pickup at race, but it's like right beside my house, so I just went picked them up.
Nice. Okay, you probably have to go pick up your kids, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, I have to parent them.
You have to parent them. Okay, they don't
couple
parent
hours.
themselves.
Well, pretty much. I mean, you got iPads and stuff.
So we're like, I'll pick you up in like 2 hours. That's great.
Yeah, I gotta eat. Not too much.
Diet. Oh, the part of the story I forgot to tell is I didn't bring water and I didn't bring food. And here I am running 32 kilometers with that guy, 34 kilometers. I was like, I mean, I know I'm invincible, but I probably should have brought water. Like it was hot day. It was a hot day. And I'm dripping sweat and I'm feeling the salt face. So one of the times when I went to get my car, I drove up, went to Richer, the gas station there, and I bought water. And they're like, "Oh my God, you're the runner going across Canada." I had my Run with Rob stuff. And I was like, we knew you were passing today. We knew we'd seen it on the news. We're so thankful that you stopped in. I said, "No, sorry, it's not me." I said, "He's like 2 miles away though, if you want to come see him." And then I was expecting them because there was a whole group of older ladies there. I was expecting them to go, but they weren't there when we passed by.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. That's it. Okay. Another good episode. Don't forget, like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review. Please tell us you love the show. Charlie, there's a lot of stuff going on. 2 races this weekend. Let's kill it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. See you later.
See you in the next video.